Hello and welcome to Laurice's Kitchen. Let's make some cookies. After that super savory polenta series, I figured it was time to make some dessert. And we've got a back-of-the-bag cookie recipe that's quickly becoming one of our favorites. Now, I'm not a big fan of thumbprint cookies because I think Hershey's Kisses are crap chocolate. But when Ghirardelli came out with their version of thumbprint drops, I knew I had to give them a try. It also doesn't hurt that the cookie recipe is nearly identical to our peanut butter cookie recipe. So let's see what we're gonna need. Along with our thumbprint drops, we also have a cup each of soft butter, creamy peanut butter, white sugar, and brown sugar. I also have a teaspoon of baking powder, a quarter teaspoon of baking soda, a teaspoon of vanilla, and a half teaspoon of kosher salt, along with 2 large eggs. We're finishing this all with 3 cups of all-purpose flour. Like nearly every good cookie recipe, we start by creaming our fats and sugars until they're light and fluffy. First, we mix the butter and peanut butter until it's completely combined. Then we add in the sugars and the salt. Here's where my cookie recipes differ from traditional cookie recipes. I mix the salt and eventually the leavening agents in with the sugars and fats so that they're completely and evenly distributed throughout the cookie dough. Because we barely mix in the flour, we run the risk of having salty or bitter pockets in our cookies. Cookies only have a 1-step rise, which takes place during baking, as opposed to some batters that are leavened during mixing as well as cooking. Adding the leavening agents at the beginning won't affect the quality of the cookie once it's baked. After the fats and sugars are light and fluffy, we add in the eggs one at a time along with the vanilla, continuing to cream the mixture until everything is thoroughly combined. Last, we add in the flour 1 cup at a time and mix on low until each addition is barely incorporated. Overmixing the flour is going to result in tough cookies. This dough is still very soft and needs about a half an hour in the refrigerator to firm up enough to handle it. Now, if you forget about your cookie dough in the refrigerator, which is heresy in my book, you can just leave it on the counter until it warms up enough that you can scoop it. I'm using a 2-teaspoon disher. This is OXO smallest. It's the perfect size scoop for these cookies. I've lined a baking sheet with parchment paper. We're scooping all this dough out first. If you're going to bake some or all of these cookies, you need to have your oven preheated to 350 degrees. And I do have the convection oven on. Next, we need to roll these into smooth balls. And now these get coated in sugar. This is just white sugar. At this point, we can either bake or store our cookies, or as I frequently do, bake a small batch and store the rest. In an airtight container, these will last at least 2 weeks in the refrigerator, although ours never last more than a few days. These are going into my preheated 350 degree oven for 8 to 10 minutes. Now we want these to be slightly underdone. While these are still hot from the oven, we need to place 1 drop on each cookie, and we need to press down just slightly. These drops melt almost instantly. It's time to give our cookies a taste. Now, unlike Hershey's Kisses, the Ghirardelli chocolate never re-solidifies even after the cookies come to room temperature. So it's this reason that they don't stack or ship well. The dough, on the other hand, travels perfectly, so you can take and bake these fresh whenever. Let's give them a taste. Oh, I know they're so good. Oh, I have my milk. Perfect. Thank you for visiting Laurice's Kitchen. If you enjoyed this video, give the like button a click and don't forget to leave a comment. We're always happy to hear from you. If you haven't already, subscribe to our channel and don't keep us a secret. Share our videos with your friends and family. You can follow us on Facebook for behind-the-scenes pics and videos, and on Twitter for upcoming videos and the random cat picture.